20 acres, Shasta County, Northern California. I'm the landman. My name is Miles McLaughlin. I'm with the company Wilco Land. And I have a piece of land. I'm going to share my screen with you quick. And I'm going to show you what this looks like and what I'm seeing when we buy our property sight unseen. So this is a little over 20 acres, under 21, so like 20 and a half. It's in Shasta County. It's in French Gulch area. There is some like dirt roads that meander up here. I believe it's called Old Grafton Trail. So that's something to keep in mind if you see that. Slate Creek Drive or Slate Creek Road is another one that goes through. And I'm just gonna browse through these photos real quick. I don't know where all these were taken. So these photos are meant to give a depiction of the property. Looks like this is a logging area potentially. So that's an opportunity to maybe make money on your property at some point. I know timberland, those prices can fluctuate. This wasn't a burn. I mean, this is kind of the residue that we're seeing. So that must have been a while ago because there is some regrowth potentially. And yeah, like I said, I don't know where all these are. I mean, again, it is meant to just give you an idea of what you can expect this property to be like or to look like. These might not all be on the property. It might be on their way, the photographer's way to the property. Might be on their way back. It might be nearby. Some of them might be of the property, but a natural creek. I mean, this would be interesting if it was on the property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Google Earth next, and we're going to dive into that. And this is cool. I want to show you this. So we're looking at imagery from 1993. You can see that up here. If you are on Google Earth ever, we share a link to download this. It will look like something like this, and you'll download it, and you have to have Google Earth on your computer. So then you can open this up, and what we're looking at is older imagery, so we can see how the landscape has changed because it is a logging area. So the zoning's TL, so timberland. And I think you can do a lot more than just log a property with it, right? What we're looking at, just to go through the history here, 98, somebody probably logged this back in the day, maybe in the 90s. 2002 looks like this. 2005, some regrowth. Maybe the property hasn't been being used as much. I don't see any like dirt trails meandering on it. This is really green. This is really regrowing here in 09. 2010, I mean, this is a forest. That's a definitional one right there. So some changes here in 2010 maybe, or just different aerials. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see that distinction a little bit more. Again, pretty darn lush, I guess is the right word for it. Forested. And you can see terrain too as I have this zoomed in. I mean, you can see, so that creek easily could be on the property. And why do I say that? It's because this gully comes running down from like a peak up here. And so that's going to catch all that natural runoff, and that's going to run through this corner edge of the property. So that's something maybe to consider too. You might have some natural water features. And so not a lot has changed here. You know, this is the most recent in 2018. So this must be like smoke or fog. But we're going to stay on this screen, and I'm going to show you this Slate Creek Road is this one that comes in. We will have some notes on this, but the Slate Creek Road is this one. And you can see it rounds up by the property here. And these aren't 100% like perfect. It's trying to overlay a plat map on Google Earth. Let me see if there's street views available anywhere. I wanted to say there was across the road, but I don't think there is. I don't think it's going to show it to me. So I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to back up. And maybe we want to look at some distances. So let me show you how to use this ruler. How the heck do you find this? So we're going to have GPS coordinates. If you want to go visit a property, you're welcome to. Study this. I mean, zoom out and say, hey, where's my entrance point from, excuse me, from I-5 here? And I believe it's back here. And this meanders from the top end down. As you can see, like these are logging roads, and we'll see who owns that property there. That's available on my program. And then this actually meanders back. This must be Slate Creek all the way over here. And another option is off 5 here. Slate Creek must come off somewhere. Do you see how Slate Creek rolls around right here and comes back through here? So these are all things to be cognizant of. And so let's say you find like this portion of Slate Creek, like this is a natural feature right on the edge of this property you're gonna be looking for. Maybe you can zoom in and you can see other people's like residences. And when you're out there, you might be able to say, okay, here's the clearing. Like from this clearing, our property or this property is about 100 yards. So I'm using the ruler tool. And let's say you're on the property. I mean, you want to get an idea how wide this 20 acre is. We are using the ruler just to do this. It's not going to be perfect, but about 250 yards wide. I mean, that could be off, but that could be quite far off, but this is about 500 yards wide. I mean, this is just what Google Earth is showing. It is, you know, somewhat valuable. Another natural feature, hey, okay, I mean, this should be distinguishable out there along with these roads. So let me get out of this and quit boring you with tools on Google Earth. What I'm going to show you, let's see if we can, this is too foggy to really look at for us right now. So I'm going to go back again to this 2018 or 2016 even looks better, I think. And I'm going to see who the land ownership is. So let's see if there's like BLM land or like public land surrounding this property. I'm just kind of curious. So ownership here, Sierra Pacific Land and Timber Company owns a 400 acres. So they own a ton of land in California. Grafton is private ownership, it looks like. And I believe this one's Sierra Pacific as well. Again, another 140 Sierra Pacific. So they're logging. Obviously, there's some money to be made doing that because they are. So they own a ton of land. These larger acreages, this one I assume is probably BLM or Sierra Pacific again. So Shasta Cascade Timberlands LLC. So that's different. The property down here, we have 1608. This is going to be private ownership. This is going to be private ownership too. Roberts, this is going to be private ownership too. So let's see, did we look at this one? Yep, the Grafton. So this is Slate Creek. If we're down in here, there's actually a creek that runs through here. So that's something to keep in mind. Heck, you could almost just walk down there from your property. I mean, I don't know what all the easements are to access this. I mean, that's something title companies won't say yes or no on those things. It is, you know, sometimes that's the hardest thing to figure out. You know, what's the best route to access? You know, is there physical access? Things like that. Just going out there, studying the area, looking at this stuff. Property like this, I don't have a lot of tips for you right now on it. I would, you know, use these tools I'm using, go meander out there and, you know, see what the gut tells you, see what the access is like. I'll try and post any photographer notes that we have for this property inside the listing. And using GPS coordinates is somewhat easy. We're just copying and pasting them right off our website. We're going to share that with you. And it's going to pull up just like somebody's home address. And they're going to pull up here. So you're able to zoom out. We're in French Gulch. Delta's just to the south, Lakehead. So we're right along I-5. I mean, this is actually, so interstate systems, like investors will look for properties close to interstate systems because hypothetically, if cities and towns grow, they're going to grow off these major roadways that we've, you know, the country spent so much time and money developing. So they're going to be branches off of here. So investors do look for things closer to major roadways versus something up here in Timbuktu. I mean, this is still pretty Timbuktu-ish, but it is what it is. Any street views available? We can get on I-5 and take a peek. If you've never been up to the area, this is what we're looking at. Looking at Northern California at its finest. More info is going to be posted on wilcolandllc.com. Owner carry options available, free and clear title. Small business, give us a call. Ask for Miles. I'm here at 605-250-1256. Appreciate your time and look forward to hearing from you.